Hello again, guys. Today's video is about a request from a subscriber that asked for a special function, kind of. Usually, and this is about the cutoff trim on the throttle stick. This is normally used for those who fly or work with nitro motors, but it can also be used for many other kind of utilities or uses. It depends on the user itself. But normally this idle only function is directly associated with the throttle trim, which is this one here, and what this user wants, it's actually to skip this, to don't use this switch and have it on the right slider. So this user wants to have this idle cut trim on the side slider, and that's something that that the firmware doesn't allow you to do directly, and for that we're gonna have to go around and perform some programming steps on the radio. So this procedure it can be done on the jumper radio as well on any other radio that has OpenTX on it. Okay, and let's go. So normally, if we go here on the first tab, we have here a function called here trim idle only, and if you enable this, you will be able to, as I've said before, to trim only the minimum position of the throttle. So this will send the minimum position down, even lower or upper. Okay, that's why it is widely used for nitro motors, because for example, if you are idling your motor, you can trim it down to shut off the motor. Let me uncheck these, and if we go forward and try to edit the throttle. Okay, here on trim, we can select any trim we want to use within those trim switches only, like we have here. It goes up to the T6, T5, aileron trim, the throttle trim, elevator, and rudder. Okay, so for now we will keep this off. This is actually the first thing to do. It's to turn off this function. Now we will create two curves. Okay, so as I have one curve already created here, I go over CV2, and I'll give it a name, which will be throttle offset. Okay, throttle offset, and now we will create a 2-point curve. Okay, so, and with this curve we will be able later to play with the offset value, and this is from 0 to 20. And later you can actually sorry, you can actually play with this value together with the values of the next curve that we are going to do after this one, to control how much of idle trim you want to have in your throttle. Okay, so this one it's done. Let's go to the curve 3, and this will be called throttle weight. Okay, it will also be a 2-point curve, and the values will be from 100 to 80. So on the previous one I've put a 0 to 20, and on this one I've put 100 to 80. So we forget the first values of from both curves, and we concentrate only on the second point values for both curves. If you want to tune how much idle throttle trim you want, you have to move or to change only the second point values from both curves. So in this one it's 80, which means 100 minus 80, it's 20, which is the value that is on the previous curve. If you put this, for example, in a value of 75, you have to change the other one to 25, okay? The other one will be always the difference between this one and the 100 for the idle throttle to work properly, all right? So this one it's done. Now we can go back. We have already 2 curves created here, and let's go into inputs. And on inputs I will scroll down and I will create two dummy lines in here where I will associate the side slider to those curves. All right, this will be actually dummy channels or dummy inputs. So click on it. The input name for this one will be throttle offset. All right. So the source for this one, I'm using the right slider. So if I move the right slider, it gets associated. All right, and it is. And that's it. And in here I'm gonna use a curve, a custom curve, which in this case will be the curve number 2, which is throttle offset. So we have associated the input throttle offset with the source of right slider with the curve throttle offset. And it's done. We can go out and let's create the throttle weight the same manner that we have created the previous one. Throttle weight, the same source, right slider, curve, custom, curve, throttle weight. Alright, so now we are done here. We have 2 more lines. Okay, so now the third step will be to go over special functions, and here we're gonna create 2 more lines. Here will be so now now we will use those 2 inputs, those 2 dummy inputs, which have as a source the real slider constrained within the curve values, and we will use those values and give those values to global variables. So let's create a global variable on. We're gonna look for on as the special function for on adjust variable and adjust global variable as I have already 1 global variable occupied, so this will be the 2, and long press here, mixer source, and the mixer source for this one will be the input 19. Let's go over input 19. Probably no. Come on. And the input 19, it's actually throttle weight, which is this one. Okay, activate, back, create a new one, similar to that one that we have just created, but this time will be global variables 3, a new global variable, long press here, mixer source, and we're gonna use a throttle, not weight but offset. Throttle offset, and never forget to activate the special function. All right, so that's done. And now we are going to go over inputs again, and we go to our throttle line, long press to edit. Okay, and in here on weight, firstly, okay, the trim it's already off. Don't do anything else. We're just going to change the trim to off and change the weight and offset. The weight will be actually global variable 2, and the offset, long press, will be the global variable 3, and it's already working. So the configuration is done. Now we will just confirm this on the monitors. Okay, so there we go. So this icon here, it's due to the arming switch. Okay, so let's arm our throttle channel. Now we have the right slider all the way down, and if we move the throttle, we have all the throttle range from -100 to 100. Okay, that's all the travel. But let's put this right slider all the way up. I'm moving here. When I move this all the way up, we see that the bottom bar of the throttle will move, and now we have from 60% to 100%. So if I keep the throttle up and move the right slider, we see that it has no effect on the throttle output whatsoever. Okay, it only affects the throttle on the lower position. Okay, and that's the idle cut. So imagine that to put your nitro engine running, you put the right slider upwards all the way up. You start your nitro engine, you fly, or if you have it on the boat or on a car, you drive it, and then once you once you stop, if you want to turn your motor off, you just have to put your slider all the way down, and your motor is cut. We can even watch it in here. So if I move, let me put the servo near the slider, we can see that the servo is moving while I'm playing with the throttle idle cut. And all the way up, it doesn't move. All the way down, it does move. So that's it. That's what I wanted to show on this video. So it's one more tutorial, this time again for a special request from a subscriber. So Rossi, I hope this will work for you. I hope that's the function that you are looking for. So many thanks for watching my videos, and keep asking for something that you need to configure on the radio. As long as I know how to do it, I'll tell you how to do it, and if needed, I will record the video to show you step by step how to achieve it. So thanks again for every one of you. See you on the next one.